one, if
Yes,
that's
we
okay
should.
with you.
What are we going with next?
Next up, we'll go for Hitchcock Truffaut. Joe is the
Joe's-
sort of. I mean, we all saw the film, like me, Ryan, and Joe, not Connor. Sorry.
Yeah, I missed
Well,
it.
basically the films, it's kind of the similar edge to the Orson Welles one.
Yeah, we saw Magician last year.
It's one of the documentary. Like as a documentary, it's a fine documentary, but obviously it's it's what it's about. That's more important.
Yeah.
But it's anybody with a knowledge of the famous book is gonna absolutely love it. I personally love the film myself, and basically all it is. It's the classic Hitchcock Truffaut book. When the Cahiers du Cinéma, the French New Wave, absolutely adored Alfred Hitchcock, namely Francois Truffaut. And when Francois Truffaut managed to get, I think, what is it, a week-long interview with him, and he sent him. No, it's in the documentary. He sent him a letter saying he thinks he's the greatest director who's ever lived and all that kind of stuff like that. And yeah, he basically sat down with him for a week and went through every single one of Hitchcock's films and a bit of his backstory, learned about his technique, his thought on cinema, and yeah, that's basically what the film's about, really, as well as inserts from the likes of Wes Anderson, David Fincher, Martin Scorsese, and a few other, like, what was it, Olivier Assayas, yeah. Loads of, obviously the French, because they love Hitchcock.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get inserts from them for the inspirations they've took from the book. David Fincher mentioning that his dad, big film buff, and he read the book non-stop. Whereas Anderson saying he pretty much ruined all the pages because he's read it that much.
It's all like held together
by
a band,
tape. But yeah, it's a really really good documentary in itself because it goes through. I wouldn't say all the films, like hints at little bits. You get clips from the likes of Sabotage, and Notorious, that has like the famous key sequence at the end, that shot which is just absolutely insane. But probably what I'll give it big props to is because it has it gives a long dedicated time to Vertigo. It gives it a good 10 minutes for everybody talking about it.
The criticism we gave Magician on the podcast when we reviewed that back in the summer was that it was a bit of a Wikipedia dump.
Yeah.
Did this have that feel to you? Because I feel like the insight that the directors brought
elevated
above.
That elevated just above, I would
Yeah.
say. It's kind of in the same vein as it's kind of a good intro before you delve into it. Like it's kind of a good intro to watch before you delve into the book and you learn all about that. But yeah, it's also what has elevated it. You get all these perspectives.
I saw a review on Letterboxd last night saying it was more like Hitchcock Scorsese, just because of how much he's involved in it.
Marty,
but he speaks very lovingly about Hitchcock and a lot of very detailed breakdowns of certain scenes.
I mean, you're talking about a person who says he's seen Vertigo so much it's in his blood, and who had the privilege to watch all of his 1950s films in original VistaVision. So, well done, Marty.
Well done
for being born in the right time.
Yeah. But I thought it was very interesting as somebody who kind of knows about Hitchcock from learning about him in uni and college, but not having seen very much. That's now something I want to put right. You see the bits on the big screen, you think it teases you in. And I watched Psycho last night, and I liked it very much.
The documentary gave me the privilege of seeing a certain scene in the cinema again.
All the clips are very good quality as well.
Yeah.
Very good transfer.
It's just like you see it's just these two amazing directors sitting face to face, and you see the passion they have for the things they're making and what they're involved with, and
it's interesting as well because you see when Kermode did these a little bit about when it comes to like filmmakers talking to filmmakers versus filmmakers talking to critics, you get a lot more strangely out of it because they have, when you read the book as well, they have like this crazy mutual respect between them.
That's one thing I like, that obviously the director Ken Jones is a critic, but there was no actual critics in the film aside from him. It was all filmmakers, which is really nice, and that's why I think it has that bit of perspective.
They're good together.
Yeah,
they're good to watch together.
So there's a certain language and discourse between filmmakers that it's difficult to get if you're a critic. Unless you've made films yourself.
I mean, you were talking about what Ben Wheatley said as well. Like,
I mean, he has since like sort of gone back on his quote and saying he understands that film critics are necessary evil.
Yep.
But a while ago he was quoted as saying that he hates film critics because they've never actually made themselves. Like they've not actually. What are they to judge what we do if they can't do it themselves, which I respect. I understand that, but fine. He's gone back on those comments, but I know what he means. Like, and I certainly don't consider us to be film critics.
No, I'm not.
I'm not in Ben Wheatley's. I'm not in Ben Wheatley's firing line because I don't want to be because I like him so much. What we do is simply just tell people what's good at the cinema, from our perspective to a similar kind of audience. We're not like saying, well, apart from like Fantastic Four, which was savage. We're generally quite.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're generally quite reasonable, I think. But anyway, Hitchcock Truffaut is in cinemas at the Tyneside Cinema.
I highly recommend it, and I highly recommend if you're a filmmaker to pick up the book because it's an amazing read.
I saw a copy on Amazon for like £8. I'm tempted.
Well worth it.
So that's Hitchcock Truffaut at the Tyneside Cinema. We've got one more film to do, but I think we'll play a song before that.